Alright, so let's head over to the grass and go back to the scene. It looks like these a little bit brighter blades here and there, and it's a little bit too green, a little bit too saturated. So let's try a couple things. So we get the alpha and then we get the grass, and the thing we can just do is add a hue saturation, and let's just tone down the saturation. And also we can add a levels, and let's just bring up the levels. And let's just check that out before we try anything else. Now you may be wondering why I'm not giving the grass a speck, and we can do that, but usually you don't really need to do that because it's just grass. So we'll see if we can get away with it. So it looks like a little bit too washed out now. So we need a little bit more contrast back in there, and we'll try a couple other things. So let's go back. So instead of levels, let's try maybe a brightness contrast. We'll increase the brightness and the contrast, and we'll do it before all the stains. And let's shift the color a little bit, and let's just see what that looks like. And it's tough. It looks like we're back where we started almost. So I think we just need some more random variation, a little bit darker at the bottom. Random variation in the brightness values. So we may have to just play with some masks. It's hard to tell, it just takes a lot of iteration. So let's delete that. We got this multiply layer, and let's go ahead and customize it a little bit. So you can paint in here. Looks like we need to try another brush. And let's add a color dodge layer. And maybe brighten up a few things. And we make sure that one's solid black. Color dodge is very sensitive. Just go in here and pick a few blades. I don't like how it's kind of washing it out, so let's see if we can colorize this color dodge. Use some more browns or something. So let's try that. Alright. Let's go ahead and give it a speck, because if we're using the diffuse as a speck, then that green could just be overpowering. So let's go in here and quickly give it a speck map. So we'll name this diffuse specular, and turn all that off. Copy paste, duplicate it, and desaturate it. Give some contrast. Now we'll import the grass. And we'll add it to the material. And we can also experiment with adding a normal map. I don't think it would hurt anything to try. I still would like more variation in those colors. It just seems like overall too green. So let's try add some more browns and normal map. So for the normal map, we don't want any of this. So we'll take this, make a new folder, and blur it. All right, Control F, and we'll just pick this solid blue, put it down here in case we need to tone them down. We have this and this, and on this one we will sharpen it. And we can try to overlay this one. So let's try this. Now let's go back down to the diffuse, and I'm going to add yet another hue and saturation. And let's just get a good brown color, and we will go ahead and fill that black. And let's just paint in some of this color. See if it gives us any breakup. So let's try that. And import the grass one. Alright, you see it added a little bit. Now, first thing you'll notice is it's kind of shiny, it seems like, but pretty nice. Normal's a little high, spec is a little high, and I would like a little bit more variation. So I should probably think about taking an extreme, but it does look a lot better right here up close. But we also want it to look good from far away. So let's just go in, tone that down, and see if we can finish this up. Let's see if we can get any more out of this. Alright. Also, I'm not sure, but it could help with the mipping if we changed our background color, be a little bit more brown. Because sometimes when it mip maps, it goes beyond the alpha. A little bit more brown right there. And we also have this brightness. Could make it a little bit brighter. And we will paint in just a little bit. And we will paint in slightly to get some darkness in there. Seems a little hot, but let's just see what it does. And we'll tone this down just a little more. So let's try that. Alright, that's looking a lot better. So let's drag a light down here and see how it reacts. I'll just clone a light temporarily. It's good to test your models in different lighting environments to make sure that it's consistent. You know, it kind of sucks that it's 1-bit alpha, but something you just got to deal with when doing grass like this for games. You can have a much smoother alpha, but with Unreal at least you need to keep it unlit, and I'd rather have the lighting than the alpha. So I'll delete that. And I'm pretty happy with it. So I'll just tone the spec down maybe a little and call this one done. See if I can give a little bit more variation. maybe even another brightness and contrast. I don't know if that would help. Kind of went overboard, but see what it looks like. It's hard to tell that I did anything at all, to be honest. More noticeable here in the light, but I like it. Last thing I want to do is add a little bit more contrast in the rebar because it's been bugging me. And let me just try that real quick. I'm pretty happy with the grass for now.